We're coming to the end of a section on the Bhagavad Gita, the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. There's a note at the end of this section from the translator. He tells us, the very essence of the Bhagavad Gita is found in these chapters, and many verses are quoted verbatim. So Krishna has given Arjuna the teachings of self-enquiry. There was nothing particularly new in this. It was just a very thorough exposition of this teaching given to Arjuna. Arjuna says, Lord, my delusion is gone. I have attained an awakening of intelligence through your grace. I am free from all doubts. I shall do thy bidding. The Lord concludes his teaching. If the mental modifications are pacified, then the mind is at peace. The sattva arises. Sattva is purity. Then the consciousness is freed from the object. We no longer identify with objects, with notions. There is pure inner consciousness. This is just consciousness. It is all and it is omnipresent. It is pure and free from movement of thought. It's at rest in itself. It is transcendental. It transcends all notions, particularly notions of the world and of self. It is not attained unless all the vasanas have been purified. Well, they're purified in the sense that they no longer hook the awareness in. They're all seen as part of the play of things, the creative play of things. And we no longer believe in them anymore. So it's not the vasanas really that have been purified, but the relationship of these vasanas to consciousness. Even as heat melts snow, this pure consciousness dissolves ignorance and dispels it. That which is everything in the universe, that which is devoid of everything in the universe, that which is inexpressible, that which is the supreme truth, by what name can it be called? You cannot call it any name. As soon as you call it a name, you're limiting it. You're going away from it. So it's everything. It contains everything, and yet it is not any of these things. Vasistha continued, when the Lord will thus instruct Arjuna, the latter will remain silent for a few moments, and then will say, Lord, in the light of the sun of your admonitions, the lotus of the intelligence in my heart has fully unfolded. Having said this, Arjuna will instantly pick up his weapons and engage himself in the conduct of the war, as if in a play. So that was some pep talk. And then off Arjuna went to playfully do some bloodletting and to playfully create orphans and widows, and to playfully participate in the culling of the human race as ordained by the gods. I mentioned my concerns that this kind of teaching could be a charter for the psychotically deranged. And we must be very careful in what arena we're applying it. If you actually are a soldier, if you actually are a warrior, because we must understand that Arjuna was of the warrior caste, his life and training would have been based around the martial arts. So we should bear that in mind. Arjuna's culture was one of the warrior, and it's a soldier's duty to go to battle. So we cannot condemn that as such. Every society, every culture has its soldiers whose job it is on occasion to go and kill. And this is something which every soldier is going to have to come to terms with in one way or another. The fact that they're likely going to be killing other human beings. They've got to reconcile this with their conscience. And if they believe in the culture they live in, if they believe in the integrity of their superiors and of those giving the orders, then there's not a problem. So it is the soldier's duty to get out there and fight. But as a human being, that soldier also has a duty. And it's to be aware of when something is clearly right or clearly wrong. And if something is clearly wrong, then they have to take a stand and follow their conscience. And this seems to be something which Arjuna did not do. There's no good reason for this battle. The essential message is that Arjuna has been told that he's a soldier, so he should go off there and fight, even though he's going to be killing many of his relatives who he respects greatly. And as I said, he's going to be creating orphans and widows amongst the members of his own family. So it would have been good if Arjuna could have realised his dharma as a revolutionary. But let's not take it on that level. As I said, there are many passages in the traditional scriptures, not just the Hindu ones, but the Muslim, Christian and Jewish ones, the Middle Eastern ones, which could be seen as charters for the psychotically deranged, unless we interpret them on a purely spiritual level and we understand them as the battle within ourselves. And this is the battle which we have to be extremely brutal in as we sunder the roots of our attachments. We can't let any attachment, whether to family, loved ones, our own lives, we cannot let any such attachment get in the way of our own spiritual understanding. And it's then that we realise that it's all the one thing, the one creative principle doing its thing. And we fight with it with a playful attitude. It's important to have this playful attitude, otherwise we might get caught up in painting a picture of a subtler nature, a picture of ourselves as spiritual warriors, as spiritual combatants fighting the ego. All we're doing then is creating another picture or changing the picture again, and nothing's changed except our conditioning is getting more insidious. So we need to be like this warrior that's going to cut away, that's going to destroy this painting to which we've devoted our lives.